Yeah, people are saying my hair is messy. I don't shower.
Focus on this. Edy, tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm from Indonesia. I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. I went to 1 year short course of visual communication. Yeah, and that's it. I have my own studio.
You have your own studio?
Agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. H & Company. So what is this project I'm looking at? Is this a brochure?
Yeah, it's a booklet for the products. Yeah.
What kind of products are these? Are these good edibles or perishables?
Yeah, edible.
Lifestyle gourmet goods. Okay, great. Am I looking at the front cover and the back cover?
Yes, there's the front and back.
Okay, perfect. So normally we just look at it like that. Is this a good client?
Yeah.
He's on air. He's like, yeah, they're great. So he's getting into confectionery. That's what that says. All the ingredients. It's always nice to see ingredients. Molly, what's your impression of Edy's work here?
Some pages he does it and it looks really good. The other pages, it just, there's a lot going on and it's hard to, like, my eye is kind of going all over the place.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking.
And just for everybody who's watching, tell us what typeface you're using.
Dido.
Dido. Okay, perfect. And then what's the other typeface?
And then
Baskerville. Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Two beautiful typefaces, and they're both serif typefaces, and they work well together. And then you're also using a sans serif in here, aren't you? What typeface is that?
Universe.
Oh, beautiful choices there. Did you design the H & Company logo, or is that their logo?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did it.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. It has a kind of an old-fashioned, old-timey thing. It
Yeah.
feels appropriate and relevant to something for food products. That's so far so good. Oh, and then he's got this typeface in here too. This is probably one typeface I don't love. And what typeface is this?
I forgot.
Okay. Is that hand lettered or is that a typeface?
It's a typeface.
Okay. I typically just prefer if you were able to do it hand done.
Yeah, me too.
And really just work on it and get all the flourishes in there. There just needs to be a couple of more bits of customization to make this work for me. I like the color palette a lot. The gold against the, what do we call that? A salmon color?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the navy or royal blue. Those are very nice colors together, especially if the gold color were metallic.
Yeah,
I think that would pop.
Awesome.
That would look really good. This blue against blue, a little hard to read. Now, there's a little edge highlight on this, which helps. But perhaps staging this, you could have put maybe a white product behind here or something to help separate it. And I think the mixture between white and blue products here with a little mustard or whatever that is looks really good. The other thing that I'm kind of having a little bit of an issue with is the scale of this relative to this. Now typically when we're talking about contrast, one of these two should be bigger and the other one should be smaller. So if we took Gourmet out to here, maybe, and then we made this even smaller, like H Company, maybe that would work better. Let's just paint this.
If you want, I'll come in and help you out. Show you how it's done.
I would appreciate that.
I would love to see that.
What did we erase, Molly? What did it used to say? Gourmet goods?
Yeah, gourmet, lifestyle gourmet goods.
Boom.
Thin ultra condensed?
Light ultra condensed.
Oh, thin.
49.
Light ultra condensed.
49.
There we
49.
go. And I think his instincts to use light ultra condensed were right in that the other one felt a little heavy for a food product. Using the spot healing brush, guys, in case anybody wondered. Now, when I got rid of all those logos, does this look better to you? You guys?
Yes.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Some of Edy's layouts are really beautiful. There's a lot of breathing space, and you get that sense of gourmet. I think when you pack too much stuff in, it starts to feel catalog and less gourmet.
Yep.
Very true.
Give it breathing space. Whitespace is your best friend. If you look at all the Apple photography, very minimal, and that's what screams to me luxury. Now see, as soon as I paste this guy back in, it gets a little bit busier. You could bring these two bits closer together. You could do that, or you could fill it in with stuff like this. I'm gonna try something here, guys. It may not work. I'm gonna try and stretch this down so it overlaps this. I always like to try to tie things together to make things relate. If I do this, then that's gonna be echoed down here. I wanna tie things together. What do you guys think? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Molly?
Yeah.
Good golly, Miss Molly?
Yes.
All right.
Good
Now,
feedback there, Molly.
Somebody said to put the logo
Thanks,
in the upper
Eric.
right corner. You don't want to put the logo to the right. When I move this over here, I think it starts to throw things off.
Yeah.
It does, right? This is the front cover. This is the back cover. How are these two things related? Right now, they're not. They're not. But they can be. I see strong grid lines here. If you were to do something like this, an element there, maybe it should be blue or gold. You need something, I think, to tie something from the front to the back. Think of your booklet, your catalog, your brochure as a three-dimensional thing. There's a relationship between the things on the front and the back. We see this line and we see this line. So we're repeating elements. We see that line, we see this line. And so that's gonna be a nice thing to help tie it all in. But if you were to shift this thing around a little bit, I think you can tie it even more. And even though the person might not be fully consciously aware of it, subconsciously, I think they're gonna feel a little bit of that. And it's always nice when you're presenting this to your client to talk about how those things tie together. Usually when I'm able to figure something out that goes beyond the front cover and it wraps on the inside and onto the back, I usually get a nice smile or delight from the audience or the client. I would prefer if you were able to create more negative space to give this thing a little bit of room to breathe. I personally like these kinds of things here. Let me point it out. Let me zoom in. I like these things where they float because this is so blocky and rigid that it's nice to have some organic elements like this pop out. So here we could have taken all these beans and make them smaller and make them take up less space. So we open up some space down here. Okay, before I put all that stuff back, doesn't it feel a little bit better already, Molly?
Yes, totally.
And I'm wondering if there's a different way to do this so that we can open up this space. Just give it a little room to breathe. So we take this guy, and all I'm going to do is make it smaller because it would take too long to do it the way I want to do it. And do it like that. And find a good spot for it. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's around here. I think also, for me, this is too far away. I'm going to delete some of this space.
Also, like, just the thought that I'm having is, do you need all those images on this page? I'm not sure if the client, if that's what they want or not. But it seems like, he did such a good job at cutting all these other things out and putting them, placing them and with their names. It's like, do you really need the image of underneath the macaroons? I was just curious, is that necessary?
There's something that's bugging me about this overlay here, Molly, because it's on this marble slab, which I like a lot, and it feels really clean. And when you overlay it on top of this, it makes it feel smoky and a little dirty.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the solution to that is. I'll make it more opaque, maybe fill the page, something like that. This is the gutter. I like things that stop right at the gutter or go over much farther so that you can appreciate the fact that the image slid over. Where you did that very successfully is here. This breaks the gutter by quite a bit. It's a good margin, it's a good offset. Here's one thing that bugs me a little bit, Edy, is the alignment here. Like, I want this to be relating to something and it's not. So either push it to the right or push it to the left or whatever. I mixed up the directions there, but I think you know what I mean. This is a really nice layout though. For a guy who's self-taught and only took 1 year of VizCom, this is impressive. This is probably your most successful page to me. And the reason why I say that is because there's so much negative space. I'm really digging it. People talk about the rule of thirds, guys. If we look at this dimension and roughly this dimension, this is one unit of measure, this is another, and this is a third. So that's kind of a dynamic way to break down a page. I want to just make one little recommendation here. You see you have these diagonal elements and they're not really repeated anywhere else. Maybe there's a gold bar, there's something that's going on to tie these elements together. The gold, you have to use, you got to use it very sparingly because you can OG that, you can over gold everything.
OG.
Yeah, you can. You can pull a Donald Trump and gold plate everything in your place, and it'll be too much. It'll be considered gaudy.
Please.
It'll be considered gaudy. So what you want to do is just use it very sparingly, use it tastefully and with intention, as Tim Gunn would say on Project Runway. Use it sparingly and thoughtfully. Okay, I think that's it for this one.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna save this file.